Hello, my name's Tim, welcome to Tim Burbage Reads, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to my sister-in-law Anna for lending me this book. This is the second book by Taylor Jenkins Reid that I have read. The first would be Carrie Soto is Back, which they do have an excerpt from at the end of this book. But what is Daisy Jones and the Six about? This is a rock documentary in novel form about this fictional band who were incredibly popular, the biggest band in the world in the mid to late 1970s, and then it all exploded. And this is the story of that. This is basically Fleetwood Mac. This is very similar to Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, this is a story of how it all came crashing down. And one thing that's really, really interesting about this is that it's written basically entirely with dialogue. It's written like an interview. The interviewer has written the book and they are interviewing each of the band members with what's going on. The whole thing is all dialogue, apart from each chapter has like a paragraph setting the scene. Yeah, after an album cover shoot, industry events, an interview with Cream magazine and big early buzz for the album, Runner Records and Rod Reyes start planning a 30-city tour. That's all the prose we'll get for that chapter. And the rest of it's all interviews. And this, what a tremendous way of writing a book, because it feels like a documentary. That's what documentaries are. You have a little bit of voiceover and then it's all interviews. And you talk with, there's the six members of the band and then Daisy Jones, plus a few other people like their manager, the person who's running the tour, Daisy Jones's best friend, who's also a singer, like a disco singer, Simone, and a few other people as well. And this really is a story of the Six becoming a band, and then Daisy Jones kind of coming in and adding on to them, and then them becoming the biggest band in the world for one album and one tour and everything that could go wrong around it. And bands generally have a finite time together because you just have that many people in a creative industry. People feel like they're being left out. People feel like they're being ignored. Money, drugs, sex, rock and roll, they all kind of get in the way of it. People don't want to be on tour so much. People want to be on tour more. And you see how the band seemingly falls apart at the seams whilst being at their peak. You know, they're number one in the charts. They're selling out cities, but they're not talking to each other. They all hate each other. And it's the story of how that happens from a bunch of young people with dreams who wish to play music and to have a good time. It's a story about a lot of fundamentally broken people trying to keep themselves in one piece as much as they can. And to do that, they end up impacting the people around them. And we see there's so many different dynamics that go up and down of people getting on and then people really getting on and then people not getting on at all. And the impact that has on each other and the band. How a band everyone contributes and everyone is even, but some are more equal than others, because some people have a bit more creative control in the band, and how does that make everyone else feel? And then when Daisy Jones comes along, she has creative control of the band in some ways and not in others, and how does that change the dynamics of the group? There's love in here, there's hatred, there's romance, there's violence, and a lot of drugs in this. It's a tremendous book. I give this a 5 out of 5. I think this is such a good book. And one thing I really liked was because it was just full of interviews, you just get every individual character's perspective on something that happened and how people can see it completely differently. One thing I thought was a little bit of an opportunity that wasn't quite taken full advantage of was the idea of a unreliable narrator. How you would get, we were playing in Cleveland, and then the next person would say, and someone that might not be correct. And then the next person would say, well, we were playing in Detroit. Like, they don't even know where they were playing. Details kind of get a bit mixed up. And I would have wanted more of that to show kind of people's memory isn't great, because this is written as if the interviews are happening much later. But then also you had those lines that would contradict each other, and they were always straight after one another. We could have given it a little bit longer just to make you feel a bit more unease about what the actual situation was, while it was pretty clear, really sensible character, or a character who was pretty out of it saying they were one place, and then the really sensible character saying they were in another place. So you could kind of get a gauge on who was reliable and who wasn't. One thing as well with this being dialogue is that it was incredibly easy to read, really quick read. One, it's all dialogue, and dialogue's generally easy to read, but also there's a lot of space. There's a lot of space in these pages. This is 400 pages. 10 pages of that was the next book. The end is the songs, which you can read the song lyrics if you like. I like the fact that the songs are in the order of the big album. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this book. I'd recommend this to people who love fiction and broken people, but also people who love music. I think you don't get to hear the songs, but you get a real sense of the vibe of what is happening. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I want to keep reading more Taylor Jenkins Reid. So let me know in the comments below what your favourite Taylor Jenkins Reid book is. You've got 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. You've got, what's another one there's an advert in the back for? Malibu Rising. And then she's got the new one about astronauts. I can't remember what that one's called. Astronauts? Is that what it's called? But yeah, let me know in the comments below which one I should read next. Please give this video a like. Please subscribe if you want to see more book reviews. And I'll see you in the next one. Now, get out of my house!